Yo, and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday of a absolutely crazy weekend. Yeah. Yeah. I hate getting into politics. I actually don't hate getting into politics. This isn't the place to get into politics, but what happened yesterday was pretty horrendous, period. It wouldn't have mattered who it was. That kind of stuff has no place, period. But that's not what I want to talk about. Let's get back to a funner, not a word, but more fun topic. We are a week away from the National, essentially, a week and a couple of days. And I'm getting more and more excited as the hours and days roll on. But in the meantime, like tomorrow, I am going to, this is a big week here locally because we have the All-Star game here. And tomorrow I am going to the MLB All-Star Fan Fest Village, whatever they call it. And I'm excited. I've never been to an All-Star event before. I don't have tickets to the Home Run Derby or the game itself. I had opportunities to buy those, but it was a lot of money. And so I passed on that, but that's okay. I'm going to go to the All-Star Village tomorrow and check that out. I'm just excited that the All-Star game is here. It gets to highlight our stadium, our fans, all that good stuff. It'll be fun. And it's only the second time it's ever been here. So, yeah, it's been a while. So I'm excited about that. And this week I love the MLB All-Star game. There's a lot of people that poo-poo all of that stuff. I just don't feel that way. You can feel that way, but I don't feel that way. So I enjoy it. I just absolutely enjoy it. I've got a pretty big mail day today that I'm going to share with you guys. I've got a couple of cards that actually finish out an entire decade of my 4-decade set. And every time I talk about it, it's like somebody writes a comment of what is the 4-decade set? And I think I've explained it ad nauseum that everybody should know. But quickly, it is a project, long-term project that I've had for a really, many, many years of I want to have every Hall of Famer. It's pictured on a Bowman card from 50 to 55 and Topps card from 51 to 1989. So all the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, hence the name 4-decade set. And that's a gigantic project, 2,600 cards or something like that. And I'm getting close. And in fact, the cards I have in the mail today, I hope, I haven't opened the packages yet. I think they're in there. This will be very anticlimactic if they're not, but the cards I should have over here are cards that finish out the 1970s. And I am just thrilled to be making progress. It's so much fun to have a goal. It's fun to accomplish a goal. And I do feel that sense of getting close. And hopefully the National will provide an opportunity to buy some more cards towards that. And it's been a great project. It's so much fun. I enjoy all those cards, and I love looking at them every once in a while and checking them out and looking at decades and pulling out certain years and all that stuff. So anyway, let's take a look at some cards. Hang on one second. Here we go. All right, I opened everything up and gotten out the cards. There's actually a couple other things in here, little kind of side hustle projects I've been working on. Dusty Baker. There's like this group of managers that I think will eventually get into the Hall of Fame. And so I have been kind of under the radar picking up slabs so that whenever they do get in, I'll already have cards for the 4-decade set to have. I'm thinking about actually doing an entire video about that. And I know managers aren't sexy in the hobby, but they matter to baseball history and they're necessary. And I think Dusty Baker was a good one. Finally won a World Series with the Astros in his last year and then retired. I'd love them to get him in. He's an older guy. I don't want him to die and not get in the Hall of Fame, but I think he will. Plus, he was a great player, too. Had a long career and great player. But here's his 72 Topps. I picked that up. I also got his 77 Topps in a 7. So again, these are cheap now, and that's kind of the point of picking these up. I've got quite a few more Dusty Baker cards to get, including his rookie. I don't even have that yet. That's actually a pretty pricey card. But there's the last 2 cards of the actual Hall of Famers from the 4-decade set. This finishes out the 70s. They both happen to be from 1979. The first card is this 1979 Topps Royals team card, and it's in the 4-decade set because it pictures Whitey Herzog as the manager. Now, if the team cards don't have an individual manager picture like this one, if this was just like this, I would not get this team card, even though, like, you know, George Brett, for example, is somewhere in this team picture. Usually, I only get the manager cards or team cards when the manager is pictured individually and named on the card, like this one. So to me, that's a Whitey Herzog card, essentially, and I count it towards the 4-decade set. So that was one, super cheap, like 15 bucks. This is the card that has eluded me for a long time. I've been looking for this. As soon as Jim Kaat got into the Hall of Fame a few years ago, I was like, all right, scrambling time. Let's go find his cards. And whereas before, super cheap, after Hall of Fame election and induction, not so cheap, and became harder to find. And this isn't a card that your typical person would send in to get grading. I mean, Jim Kaat had been retired for many, many years, and, you know, it wasn't like there was this high demand for Jim Kaat cards prior to his Hall of Fame induction. And now that there's just not as much supply as there is demand, and so prices were kind of nutso. And so I've just been waiting kind of impatiently for this card to show up so I could finally pick it up, and it did last week, and I was able to get it on auction. I don't remember what I paid. I don't have it pulled up, but it wasn't crazy expensive, but it wasn't cheap either. More than this should go for, but honestly, I didn't care because I knew this card was on a buy it now for like 15 bucks. So I could buy that whenever I wanted to. It was this one and once I got this one, I went and bought this one. So I was like, okay, I'm done. And ironically, they both came in over the weekend so I could show them today. So that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about doing the 70s, getting the 70s done. It feels really groovy. All right, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Keep collecting.